Hello everybody, I hope you are having a nice week and that you enjoyed my last videos regarding the skills and talents found in the Gamescom single player demo. The first one being about the interesting ones we found at Gamescom, and the second one being about their complete list, which you can find in the description of that video as a Google document. So go check them out if you didn't do that yet. As promised, I will now announce the winners of the 5 multiplayer beta keys that I was giving away. I remind you that they were picked randomly through a website, just to point it out again. So, to all the participants, today the gods will decide your fate. And the gods decided that the winners are Veraxi, Chandler Marshall Hill, Joshkun Aras, Forgotten Era, and Tony Montana, which, by the way, is one of my favorite movie characters ever. Guess the random picker also listened to my preferences. I will answer to your comments and try to get in touch with you to send you the key, so watch out for your YouTube notifications. That said, congratulations. Have fun in the beta and crouch spam when you find me in-game. We will have some fun dancing before killing each other, or help each other if we are on the same team. In case I kill you, remember that you had a nice head on your shoulders. Before I move on, I want to thank you all again for the kind words, the compliments and the feedback you are giving me. Positive or negative that it may be, they are both very helpful. If you want to support me and help me improve my equipment to edit videos, create this content and maybe make an earning out of it, make sure to support me on Patreon. A website that allows supporters to pledge for even just $1 a month to support a content creator in his work. I am currently working on the tiers rewards. Feel free to write in the comments what you would see as fitting rewards. Maybe a part of the script I read in the videos, maybe to have a little peek at what I'm preparing. Do you want me to open up a Discord server maybe with some perks or benefits in it? This is all very new to me and I'm very open to your suggestions, so feel free to leave them in the comments. As you already know from the title, this video will be about the policies that you can bring to a vote in your kingdom. My choice of word was poor. The kingdom doesn't have to be yours, but you have to be at least a part of it. In the single player demo, while playing as Brogomir, one of the 3 characters available in the demo, we will be part of the Western Empire, whose leader is Garios. I hope I pronounced it correctly. But we are still able to propose the policies. The cost to propose such policies is in influence. In the demo, every policy costs 40 influence, as you can see right here, where you can propose it by clicking on this button. But I can imagine it being different for each policy in the future. Same goes for the support bar, which was always at 50%. But I guess that will change at release, since I can't imagine all the lords having the same kind of degree of agreement with completely different proposals. The support will likely depend on your relations to other lords of your faction. So let's jump to these policies. I will go in the order they were to be found in game. The first policy was called Commendations, and it reads: military achievements are favored and lords can vote to award each other decorations and distinctions. The effects are 50% more influence from military achievements and the troop wages being 20% more expensive. I think that this policy will be very useful before conquering enemy settlements or castles, or just in any given military campaign where you foresee major victories, so that you can earn a lot of influence from it. But mind the higher troop wages. For some of you, the description might be vague and you might be thinking about fiefs being also awarded through voting, but don't be mistaken, it just has the effects I have talked about. The second policy is called Patriotism and reads: favor the bonds that hold a faction together above all. The effects are +1 settlement morale per day, +1 settlement militia per day, which makes me ask, wait a second, is this settlement militia what is going to defend the settlement automatically, such as an automated garrison? If so, that would be awesome. Another more probable explanation is that militia are those groups patrolling around town to chase down bandits, if I'm not mistaken. It was given by a Reddit user a long time ago and it makes sense. The last effect is negative and gives us -2 settlement morale. to settlements with different culture than the king's culture. I have talked to a developer and to Arman about this, and they confirmed that when you conquer a settlement, the garrison and lords are going to change, but the locals, the architecture and the culture are going to remain the exact same as they were originally. So it makes sense that if you promote patriotism for your battle-oriented Western Empire, you will lower the morale of the sandy southern cultures. The next policy sounds like the name of a motorcycle club. Are you ready? It's called Charter of Liberties, which reads, a written proclamation that seeks to bind the king to certain laws. It grants you 2 influence per turn for each town you have, but increases the settlement consumption by 20%. Well, the reason towns are going to support you is probably because of the common folk liking the idea to bind the king to laws, not letting him do anything he wants just because he wants it. Next off is the Privy Council policy. The description reads, a small council of the greatest lords of the realm, and it grants tier 4 clans 2 influence per turn, but reduces the renown gained by clans by 50%. The first effect is clear enough. We know that influence is a resource that can be used to vote for policies, convince vassals to join a war, and so on. But to really understand the second effect of this policy, we need to take a look at a dev blog about clan renown that was posted by Tailwars on the 18th of July, 2019. For those of you who are familiar with the renown mechanic, things have changed in Bannerlord. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, well, listen up. It is a value that keeps track of your actions and choices, letting you make a name for yourself in the game. As written in the blog, in Bannerlord, renown will be attached to clans and not to characters anymore. This is a choice given by the fact that you can earn renown and after dying, your next character will still profit from it. The player's clan will level up through different tiers, giving you more options of action and unlocking new capabilities. An example for the bonuses are more parties, not the ones you throw with Harlows, but the groups of people who fight for you, just to be clear. Increased companion limit and additional caravans. I also think that a higher clan renown will unlock more policies to propose. This said, you really can consider this policy if your clan is of tier 4 and you don't really care about renown in that moment of time. This will let the higher tier clans become more influent while the lower tier clans stay the same in terms of influence. Now let's take a look at the Sacred Majesty policy. The ruler is considered semi-divine and certain rituals are to be performed in his or her presence. This will of course benefit the ruler with 10 influence per day, which is a lot, but will make clans lose 1 influence per day. The worst thing about this policy is that the relationship with lords will decrease by 2 each day. I can imagine this giving a lot of power to the ruler. If you think about it, it was confirmed that you need influence to make vassals perform certain actions. I can confirm that through this perk I found by playing the Gamescom single player demo. It's the Warmonger perk, unlockable at level 60 in the strategy perk tree, and it makes you pay less influence to summon vassals for war. So if you're a ruler and just started a war or intend to do that, the Sacred Majesty policy might be the right thing to propose. But watch out, because the relationship with lords have to be good if you don't want to be backstabbed and hated by them. A way to keep your relationships up and compensate this negative effect would be to keep these lords close to you and using camaraderie, a perk designed to increase relations with other characters by spending time in their vicinity. It is found in the Charm perk tree and can be unlocked at level 60, so pretty early in the game. Now we come to the Scutage tax policy. It says some of the tax is paid to the ruler. Pretty simple, makes sense, that's how things work back then. You get a 5% of each lord's taxes, but again, your relationship with them gets worse by 2 points per day, so be sure to stay in their proximity with a perk such as the one we've talked before, or to raise the relationship level in some other ways. If things slowly drift out of hand and clans become too influent and you, as a ruler, can't even tell your lords to do their duty, there is a way to solve this. To balance out the influence you have as a ruler versus to influence the various clans and earn some extra money, there is the Magistrate's policy. The ruler gains 1 influence from each settlement per day, while the clans lose 1 influence from each settlement per day. In all of this, again, a 5% cut of each lord's taxes is earned by the ruler, which is a pretty neat extra bonus. The next one is the Senate policy. It reads all lords have a formal role in the council, and it gives 1 influence per day to all clans. It can be helpful to balance out the loss of influence of other policies, or to give your clan an extra boost of influence over time. Just watch out, because there might be an old man in the Senate that will use the influence to establish a new empire and destroy your dreams of a fair republic. Be especially careful if he starts wearing a black mantle and cape. Just type the Senate in your image search engine and you will know who I'm talking about. The description of the Policy Council of the Commons really got me. Yeah, well, let's just get to the facts, I guess. Notables add 1 influence per day, and you're going to get +1 militia per notable in settlements. I talk like I know what I'm talking about, but I really don't know what notables are. Maybe functionaries you can assign to the fiefs and castles to administrate them? Notable can mean 2 different things. The first interpretation is a famous person, so maybe somebody with high renown. The other explanation, which is a bit better and more fitting, is that a notable is somebody who actually works in a settlement to administrate it, as I said before. Will they be generated automatically though? Will we have to assign somebody to this role? Who knows? If you have a better idea, or know something about this, write it in the comments. I will then proceed to write a comment and pin it at the top if I find a better explanation or proof, so everybody can see it. The last policy is called Property Protections and reads, even the king cannot take land without process of law. The effects are that the settlement production is increased by 20%, but it reduces the settlement militia by an amount that seems to be unspecified until now. The other thing that is not specified is what kind of production is increased. The horse farm production, the wood production, maybe every kind of production, which would be even better. So this is it for this video. Stay tuned for the next videos, which are very probably going to be about my 40-minute interview with Arman. It will be split in different parts, because it was, as I have already said, a pretty long conversation. I will also give away more multiplayer beta keys when releasing them, so keep an eye out and hit the notification bell to stay tuned. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.